Good hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good hair.
All right, break a leg.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Have fun, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We're going to start with David Epley, and then we'll introduce, I'll say you brought a friend.
Okay.
Okay. Ten seconds. Thank you, Bob Allen. It's now 6 minutes after 10 o'clock, and we're going to have a moment of science in the IPR studios. We have a very special guest who in turn has brought with him a very special guest. I'd like to introduce you all to David Epley. Hello, David.
Hi there, Kate. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Welcome to Interlochen. David, you are a scientist and an actor. That's an unusual combination. Which one came first?
Well, I grew up expecting to be a scientist, and I wouldn't honestly call myself a scientist at this point. I'd call myself a science aficionado and a science educator. But I am not making my living doing active research. I'm making my living letting people know about it. And
Spoken like a true scientist.
Well, there we go. Yeah, you're right. But I grew up expecting to be a scientist. I went to a special high school for science and math kids in North Carolina and loved it. The North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics. But along the way, I found out I was much more interested in being on stage, so I became an actor. I worked for 20 years as a comic actor, mostly at outdoor festivals, Renaissance festivals around the U.S., focusing on improvisational comedy skills. And then a few years ago, decided to bring those two passions together and see what happened. And the creation is the show Dr. Kaboom.
Dr. Kaboom, who is going to be joining us here in the studios momentarily, I believe. Excellent. Well, why don't we go ahead and bring him in. David has smashing and smart friends. We'd like to introduce you all now to Dr. Kaboom.
Yeah, hello, my dear.
Hello, Doctor. Welcome to Interlochen.
Yeah, Dr. Schön, very, very happy to be here. Very excited to be performing tonight at the Center for the Arts. I cannot wait to get on stage and show people the magnificence that is the joy of science.
The joy of science. Now, this is for children, yes, and full families. We can all...
Yeah, people often think it's a children's show. It's not a children's show. It's a family show. So my show is geared towards entertaining, involving, and educating everyone who is there, whether they're 8 months old or 80 years old or up and beyond.
And you approach the different sciences, physical science, chemistry.
Yeah, in my show tonight, for being on stage, the easiest thing to deal with is something that has spectacle. So mostly physical sciences. It's hard to do, a biology experiment that takes 4 or 5 years on stage and have people be interested. But I'm working on it. So tonight we're going to do a physical sciences journey through basically what is the method of scientific method, the modern method of doing science. We cannot simply say something is science and call it fact. We must explore our ideas in a particular format.
I see, so that's... And can we talk a little bit about the scientific method, just very briefly?
Yeah. We have in our world lots of information. It's the job of the scientist to find the information that is out there in the world. We gather information, we test it, we put it together, and we create what we call scientific theories, sort of umbrellas of philosophy to contain all the information we have learned in an attempt to understand as much as we can about the universe and the way it works. The scientific method, we have to have our idea, what we call a hypothesis. We test it with experiments, notice the plural, and then we take the information we have learned, we tie it together into scientific theory.
There you have it, the scientific method.
Yeah.
And we're going to be applying some scientific method on the radio. This is a very interesting experiment we are doing today. All kinds of experiments, Herr Doctor.
Yeah. We're going to do a few things. When you talk to me about coming on the radio, it's fun. I've never been invited on the radio to do demonstrations and experiments. So I had to think of some fun things we could do as I was on the drive here to beautiful Interlochen. So I came up with 3 things we're going to do during our visit today. A couple of chemical reactions, and then some fun with sound waves.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Shall we launch into one of those now?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Well, let's see. 2 are things that you can do at home. It is part of my mission to get parents, grandparents actively involved in their children's scientific education. We have learned that the United States of America, our great country, our children are ranked worldwide 12th in science and 25th in mathematics. Yeah.
Wow.
12th and 25th, and our numbers are dropping. And 25th in mathematics is approaching 3rd world rankings. Yeah. In the next 20 years, 80% of the jobs to be created, our children's jobs, will require a strong foundation in science and math. They have to be better at science and math than we are. So, I like to get parents, grandparents on their feet, actively involved doing science with their children. Well, it's okay if you do not know it. Learn it with them. So, what we're going to do first is well, we are Dr. Kaboom. Let's make a kaboom.
Excellent. I was hoping something would go kaboom.
Yeah, I cannot do as much as you would think because one, it's you try getting on an airplane with the chemicals in a suitcase and the name Kaboom on the side. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But also too loud explosions make the young children cry.
Oh, we don't want to do that.
No, well, that may be very German in nature. That's certainly not what we want to do. Yeah. Not a lot of Schadenfreude in my show.
Good.
Yeah. So what we have here that we will explain to your listeners is we have the old film canisters, the white ones with the lids that go a little bit, the seal on the inside of the canister. The old black ones with the gray lids will not work for this. But all you need is the film canister on the little of the fizzy seltzer tablets, you know, with the plopping and the fizzing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The I can't believe I ate the whole thing tablets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Maybe if we look back on this whole obesity epidemic in the United States, I wonder if something like that might be the foundation. I can't believe that I ate the whole thing. But here's a solution. We got to go look back and figure out what started that.
I like that. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
we don't have to eat the whole thing.
No.
Yeah, but looking at me, you wouldn't know that. Now, so what we have here are the film canisters and a little bit of a seltzer tablet. Now, I'm going to put one here on the table. We have about a teaspoon of water in the film canister. We're going to put about half a tablet in and put on the lid. And what is going to happen is the effervescence. The chemical reaction between the tablet and the water creates carbon dioxide gas. Or like any gas, it expands to fill the container it is in. If you close off that container, but the gas is still being created, you build up pressure. That pressure builds up a great deal of force. So, we put in the plopping.
All right, we are, ladies and gentlemen, he has lifted up the white film canister and he is beginning to plop the tablet, the effervescent tablet, into it. Let's do that.
Yeah, we plop a little tablet in so you can hear.
Oh, there's the fizzing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put in a little bit more, we put on the lid, we sit it down, we have our safety goggles on. When we wait for the pressure to build, inside right now, the carbon dioxide being created. Yeah! Kaboom!
Kaboom! Therefore, pardon me. I was prepared for that and it still shocked me. There you go.
I know, but the fun part is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I have 8 of these film canisters.
Oh dear, all right.
So I thought we'd make it a little bit bigger by you and I together, putting the tablets in all of them, putting on the lids, and listening to them go off in succession.
By all means, only this time I'm really going to be prepared and not be frightened. Let's
Yeah,
do
it'll still get you. It gets me every time. Come, Kate of Science, come.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All
Here
right.
are the tablets.
Does it matter what size we use? Or
No,
just
you
drop
want to
them
put in 1 or 2 pieces in each one.
Okay.
They all are already preset with the water. Go ahead and put the lids on. Where we
Right away.
Get
All
the
right.
tablets in. Get the lids on.
Yeah.
Your safety glasses are on.
They
and then
are.
get out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last one.
Yeah, you step back, Kate of Science. Yeah! Science! 1 more, no, 2 more. Yeah, one last. Yeah!
Science!
Oh wait, I think we have 1 more. Maybe it'll happen sometime during the course of the show.
It'll surprise us then.
Yeah, we keep talking. Yeah, I'll step away from it.
So this has made a wonderful noise and a little bit of an also kind of wonderful mess, but it's fantastic. And this is all carbon dioxide gas just forcing the lid right on.
Exactly. And if you turn the container over, the body of the container will shoot off. And you can even build a rocket with construction paper on the edges of it and shoot that off into the air. Something to be done outside.
Right, of course, not inside a beautiful recording studio,
Yeah.
Charlie.
And only with the help of your parents and the permission of your wives.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, that is wonderful. We have made things explode, and it is very simple to do. I will attest to that.
Yeah. But in a safe manner.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing but a little seltzer tablet, a little bit of water, and the film canister. If you do not have the film canister, there are a lot of effervescent drinking tablets now that come in a tube.
Ah, yes.
With a, like for getting on the airplane, or they have echinacea and such in them. When there are also sports drinks now that come in a tablet form, you can use those containers as well.
Excellent. Well, there we have it. We can make our own Kaboom. We've done the first. Yeah?
Yeah!
Yeah.
Now, none of this, by the way, is anything I get to do in my show tonight. We have all different demonstrations tonight. So these are just some fun things to do here for the radio. But what I went on, one of them was leaking out the edge. We're not going to worry about that. So, another fun thing you can do that with sound Sound is made of waves that travel through surface. The simplest surface for them to travel through, of course, is air. So we hear most things traveling through the air. Also, even they travel through our own jaws into our ear pan. We can hear things underwater, but it sounds different because they are slowed down as they travel through the water. But one thing we can do is amplify sound waves that we may not normally be able to hear. So here I have a slinky,
All right.
a metal slinky. Whenever I hang it, you hear it hit the table, you hear that metallic kind of jiggling sound.
Yes, this is your standard slinky, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it is just a coil of thin aluminum. Now, I believe it's aluminum. I could be wrong, but it would be a first. So, we take the slinky. What is happening though is that sound waves are being created that we are not capable of hearing. They need to be amplified because they're so soft and so silent. So, if we place the ring of the slinky around a piece of styrofoam, now I just have here a lid from a standard styrofoam, what is the word in your language?
Container.
Cooler container,
Yes.
You can also buy pieces of foam at craft shops. But if you hang it from that and then let it drop.
Sounds like a laser beam.
Yeah, nothing making the sound but the slinky on the vibrations through the styrofoam and being amplified from it.
And that's reflecting off of the back of the styrofoam and then bouncing around from the plastic?
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty nifty, yeah?
that's...
You can make big sounds. Here, I brought one for you to play with if you like.
Thank you, I'd like to. I thought you'd never ask.
We have the Star Wars. Yeah. So you take your styrofoam there. Yeah. It can go either direction.
Alright, hook my slinky up so we can have a laser beam battle in here, hopefully. No one will be harmed. No one will be harmed.
No. Yeah. Take that!
Yeah.
Take that, Princess Kate!
Oh, fix that, Dr. Kaboom!
Yeah!
No!
Come to the dark side!
Never!
Yeah! I am your father, Kate! I am your father!
My father will be very confused.
Who's your papa now? Now, I do not know how much time we have left. I have one more piece to show you. Yeah, we doing good? Yeah. So, that's a lot of fun. We play with that a little bit more, maybe a little bit later. But what we're going to do now, those two were demonstrations. In science, we explore our ideas, our hypotheses with experiments. We learn our experiments, we learn our information. This means I call them demonstrations because I have done them before. I know what I expect to have happened from my past experience doing it, and I'm showing you what I have learned.
Okay.
With an experiment, we do not actually know. We have not tested it yet, and we will find out. So, this is something I decided to try for the radio. We're going to make another chemical reaction.
Okay.
So I stop at the store and I buy the teapot with the little whistler.
It's a very standard issue teapot, ladies
Yeah,
and
yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah.
The stainless steel type, a black handle, a little black whistler on the end.
Yeah, short and stout.
This is his handle. This is its spout.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You know the song, yeah?
Strangely enough.
Sing it with me, Kate! No, never mind. Yeah.
If you could sing it in German, it would be much better.
You want me to sing it in German?
Can you?
No. So here's what we're going to do. I have two chemicals here. One is a highly concentrated hydrogen peroxide. What we buy in the grocery store is 3% hydrogen peroxide. This means it is 3 parts hydrogen peroxide, it is 97 parts water. This is 10 times more powerful. It is 30% hydrogen peroxide. This hydrogen peroxide would burn your skin on contact. You notice I have the safety gloves.
Yes.
Always practice safe science, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of what I do can be dangerous, some of what I do can hurt you. Children do not do science without the help of an intelligent adult. Remember the adjective.
Yes, the adjective is a very important caveat.
Yeah, intelligent adult. Your parents, yeah, your teachers, yeah, your grandparents, sure. Your 48-year-old Uncle Slappy who still lives with his mother. No. Choose your adults carefully. We're going to put this highly concentrated hydrogen peroxide in the teapot. Now, I have another chemical here in a solid form. This chemical in a solid form is called potassium iodine. Maybe you can hear the shaking.
Yes, it's a fine white powder in a clear plastic container.
Exactly. When we mix these two chemicals together, we have a chemical reaction. What that means is, when we mix the chemicals together, at least one of the chemicals will change its nature. It will become something completely different from what it was before. It will change on the molecular level, and there is no going backwards in the process.
Right.
Yeah. Now this chemical reaction is an exothermic reaction. Exo for out, thermic for heat. It gives out energy in the form of heat. I'm hoping we can create enough heat to set off the whistler of the teapot. And hopefully this works, since we say this will last. Yeah.
If it doesn't, though, it was an experiment and we've all learned.
Exactly, exactly. And that's an excellent point, Kate, of science. In science, it does not matter if you are right or wrong. This is not what science is about, ever. What matters in science is that you learn the truth.
Excellent. It's about the asking and the discovery.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with ego. So the next time you fail a science test, try that argument out with your teacher, see how far it gets. We mix them together. Ready to put the lid on fast?
All right. We've done it. Oh!
Oh yeah, it's happening right away, yeah.
Works really well.
And there goes another film canister. Kaboom! Yeah!
Dr. Shane, Dr. Kaboom.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. We're going to let that go. I'm not going to mess with it because I don't want to touch it right now because it's very hot.
It's very hot.
Yeah.
While that is cooling off, we can see you tonight at Interlochen.
Tonight at 7 o'clock at Interlochen. Fun for the whole family. I will show the audience some magnificent things in science. I'll teach them something they can do with their children today. Come on down. We all have a good time together.
Go to tickets.interlochen.org for tickets tonight to Dr. Kaboom. And just make yourself ready not to jump out of your seat like I did twice, even though I was prepared. Dr. Shane, Herr Doctor.
Oh, bitteschön, my pleasure entirely. Thank you for the invitation. We're going to put the video, you have a camera, I see, we put it on the Facebook?
Yes, we'll put it on the Facebook,
Yeah.
and we will put it on the web as well.
Excellent, yeah.
So we will let all of our listeners know when we can do that. Also, Dr. Kaboom, you have a DVD, do you not, if we want to see more of your show?
Well, this is actually not the show. I don't put the show on DVD because I'd rather you come see it live. The DVD is entitled Dr. Kaboom, Try This at Home. It's a series of demonstrations you can do with your children with things you already have in the house. So you can get that on the Amazon.com, you know, blah, 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 blah.
Excellent. So while you are all off running for your film canisters, thank you again so much, Dr. Kaboom.
Thank you, my dear.
We're going to listen to some music from Lee Hoybe. These are Schubert variations. And we'll get your later bite. Oh, great. Oh, so much fun.
That was a blast.
That was great.
Thank you. That was such a kick.